Something funny that Hayden does is probably, he likes to play with my hair and like braid my hair. He's actually the best French braider, fishtailer, French fishtail friend out of anyone that I know. No offense, Hannah, but it's true.
The funniest thing about Caitlin that nobody else really knows is that she tries to act like a total gangster. I don't even know. She tries to think like she's like a total rap diva and just like, I could do this, I could do that. It's pretty hilarious.
So Hayden and I met in high school, and he was a sophomore and I was a freshman, and we met at this little homeschool co-op that we used to go to.
It must have been 3 or 4 weeks into the school year, and decided to not eat peanut butter and jelly by myself anymore and go try to make friends with the cool kids.
Yeah, I remember it was at Taco Bell, and I don't know if one of my friends invited him over to our table, but I said I really wanted to meet him because I just heard all these things about him. They said, oh my gosh, he's so shy and he's so smart, and he sits up in the front of the class, and the teacher would say something funny and everyone would be just rolling laughing, and he would just be sitting on the front like still doing his school, saying nothing, and they were like, he's so weird. But I was like, he sounds like a really good guy. I'd love to get to know him. So I guess they introduced me one day, and I just thought he was really cute.
Story of the first kiss is a wild one. Extremely friend-zoned at this time, and I thought it's gonna take an atomic bomb to get me out of the friend zone.
I think we were just watching a movie one night on the sofa, and I knew that he liked me, and he knew that I thought he was super cute, so I think he was just thinking, I'm just gonna go for it.
Somehow I got her to look at me for a second, and went in and right in for the kiss.
He went in for the kiss, and it was really simple, it was really sweet, it was very respectful, and it melted me. It was the cutest, most gentle and like sensitive thing that I had ever experienced, and it was the first of many to come.
That was pretty much the start of it all.
This was before we started dating? Sorry, rap.
First date. I don't know if we could call it a first date, because she wouldn't go on a date with me. Tried forever. Wouldn't go on a date. So I convinced her to go on a friend date, which we called a freight.
I don't know what his take on the story is, but he wanted to date me. He really did. And I said, I love what we have as friends, and I don't want to ruin it. And I honestly was really scared because he was the best friend I ever had. And I don't want to cry, but he made me feel really special. And so anyway,
I had to talk her into a freight for at least like a week, and she like ran it by her dad, and he was like, I think that's a great idea. He's like, excellent idea, or something like that. You know? And then she was like trying to like grill me all these questions. She was like, so if we did date, what exactly would it be like?
I was just thinking like man, he's worth it. Like I want this forever. And I think it was in that moment that I realized it was so real, and what we have is just so special, and I just knew in that moment that God was saying, yep, like he's the one, confirmation. And so ever since then, we've just been so happy together.
I'd wanted to propose for a while, and I didn't know exactly when I was going to do it. I kind of had a time frame.
Sojourn was having a summer camp for all the youth, and Hayden and I are very involved in youth. We love all the kids, and I love the people who work there, and so Hayden and I got really involved in the youth group over the summer.
And I was up at church, and I said, PC, what would you think about me proposing at camp? And he goes, I think it's a great idea. He goes, we can make that work. And he goes, have you talked to her dad? I said, no, hadn't talked to her dad yet. He goes, well, you need to do that. And so I go, okay, and got up and walked out and went and drove over to Caitlin's house, and I go, hey, Mr. Payne, can we go grab a Coke? Which is what he always said to me when he wanted to talk. He goes, yeah, sure. Didn't even ask why, just kind of ran to Chipotle, of course, and kind of told him the whole story about who I was before getting to know Caitlin, and just what that had done for me, the changes that I saw in myself. It was basically just like a all glory to God story of how it all happened. And at the end of it, I said, I want to continue this for the rest of our lives. Can I marry Caitlin? And he goes, yes.
Every last night of camp is the talent show, and it was gonna be over in like 5 minutes, and I think it was in the middle of one of the kids' acts, and Hayden was like,
my stomach really hurts, which was true because I was extremely nervous. I was like, can we step outside for a minute?
And I was like, fine. I was like, gosh, Hayden's being such a baby right now. I was like, Hayden, come on, just wait a few more minutes.
And so we got up and we were hanging outside of the big building where we were, and it was raining, so it was kind of weird that I was like, okay, let's take a walk. And so we're walking out there, and then you see this huge just flash of light in the midst of the forest, and Caitlin was like, what was that? And I was like, I don't know. I guess it was lightning or something.
Right at that moment, I felt kind of suspicious, and I got this excited feeling like, is he gonna propose? And I was like, no, every time it's false alarm, so I wasn't expecting anything to happen. And he looked down on the ground, and there were these tube lights in the middle of the forest, and I was like, okay. I was like, it's definitely happening. So Hayden found this random outlet in like the middle of the forest, and he flipped this switch, and this lighted pathway showed up.
And I walked her, and I was like, here, stand in the middle of it. And then I reached down and then grabbed the ring, and I was on one knee, and I opened it up.
He said, Caitlin+Hayden, will you marry me? And I was just thrilled. I said, yes, 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 like 1,000 times.
After I put the ring on, I think I played some music, and we danced inside the circle for a minute.
So we were just surrounded by all these loved ones and all these kids who we had grown up with, who we love, and my sister was there, and my brothers were there, and Hayden's best friend and my best friend, and it was just really the most perfect experience I could have imagined.
The thing I'm looking forward to the most is seeing who Caitlin is in 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, hopefully 60, maybe 70 years from now. And just what marriage will be like then. I can only imagine that it being 1,000 times better than dating her is right now.
I'm ready for this. I'm ready for me and Hayden forever.